On today's video, I've got the all-new, brand new, the JPX Hot Metal 925. I am so pumped for these clubs. We're gonna take them out here at Carrollwood. We're gonna go irons only, play 6 holes of golf. My over-under is going to be plus or minus 1. These things seem so straight, so long. I think we've got a chance, and that's why I'm setting myself a super aggressive over under here today. All right, here's our closer look here at the 925. I've got the 7-iron in hand, and this thing is absolutely packed with technology. The first being a multi-metal construction. So the outer shell of this is that nickel chromoly we've seen from Mizuno here for the last few years, but inside the 4 through 7, you've got a tungsten weight. This is going to allow the club face to give you more lift, generate higher shots with those clubs that are a little harder to launch, especially if you've got a little slower swing speeds. Now, the next big innovation is the face here. This is variable face thickness. Now, we see this with drivers. I have not seen this very often, if ever, with irons. They're calling it a cup face. I was looking at it here to see if I'm getting a little of those Bryson DeChambeau club vibes. I don't necessarily see a visual cupping of the iron itself, but maybe that all happens inside. Either way, Mizuno says this is going to give us maximum forgiveness on those off-center strikes. Now, the other thing here is the sole thickness. This is variable throughout the set. So here in the 7-iron, it's going to be our mid-range sole thickness. You can see there's some sole relief there too to cut through the turf a little bit better. I generally like to see it here on the leading edge as well, but here we've got it in the back with the JPX 925. Now, in terms of lofts, the 7-iron here is 28 degrees, so these lofts are going to be pressed for maximum distance. We'll see how that affects trajectory of the shot and height of the shot out on course. Here's a look at your top line. It's going to be on the thick side for sure, but this is a game improvement club from Mizuno, so that is to be expected. Time to check these out here on course and see just how well I hit them. All right, first hole here today is about 340 yards from these tees. I've got 5-iron in hand. We're gonna measure this shot to see exactly how far it goes. This is my first swing of the day because our driving range was closed. Oh, it was a good one. I caught that pretty darn flush, and that is dead center in the middle of the fairway. My club head speed was 92, my ball speed 128, smash 138, the estimated carry there 189. All right, so that flew nice and high, dead straight. If you saw the shot trace there, that was about as straight as it could go. The one thing I will say in terms of feel there, you know, they always say nothing feels like a Mizuno. When people say that, they're talking about the forged options, the Mizuno forging, so nice, so buttery. I would say these JPX here are a little, for me, on the stiff side. So I'm not gonna say they have great feel, but they sure seem to go a long way. Let's see exactly how far. I'm here at my ball, and yeah, for a 5-iron, 207, I think we will take that. I've only got 3 clubs here today. Mizuno sent me a 5-iron, a 7-iron, and a pitching wedge. It just so happens we've got 128 here, so pitching wedge should be fine, but that is gonna be an X factor here today. We're gonna have to get a little creative with our shots, but I think 128 should be pretty darn good with the pitching wedge. About 90% swing for me. Oh, it's right at it. Is it the club? It hit the green. We'll have to see if it stopped or if it rolled down onto the fringe, the back fringe, but either way, a very good shot. Again, I don't know if you saw it on the shot trace, but that thing is as straight as it gets. We've got a really good crack here for birdie. Look at this. I've got, oh, no more than 7 feet, probably about 6 feet. So yeah, stopping power, surprisingly good. When you got a pressed loft and you're getting that extra distance, I kind of expect, you know, it's gonna hit and really roll off. This is not a long green, it's only about 5 yards long, but it landed right in here to only roll down a couple of feet. We've got an incredibly good crack. The only thing against us here is that these greens are in pitiful shape. They've just been punched a couple weeks ago or less, maybe last week even. Because of that, it didn't break. So we'll have to know that for the rest of the day here. These greens probably aren't going to break because they're a little on the slow side. But man, what a great start here. Now I can already see the comments now. You're probably wondering what is on my neck. This is the Coolify Cyber Edition This is a personal air conditioner, and I've got to say, I need it because it is just past noon here in Tampa, Florida, in the middle of the summer, and it's got to be like 96, 97 with about 1,000% humidity. It is so hot. Yesterday I was playing golf. I was literally in a pool of my own sweat. And I'm pretty nice and cool right now here with the Coolify. This unit features 6 upper and 2 lower vents for full body cold air surround. It can be controlled by simply pressing the buttons on the unit, or you can download and connect to the Torras app and control it right from your phone. Pretty amazing. I love the LCD display on the unit that shows you the cooling mode and fan power. The Coolify Cyber is flexible and built to withstand an active lifestyle. It charges via USB, and it can even be used while you're charging the device. In addition to the Coolify Cyber, I tried a couple of Torras other models, including the Coolify 2S that features an extended battery, and the Coolify Air, which is super lightweight and comfortable. All of them kept me cool on course, at the pool, or in my backyard this summer. I'm a massive fan. If you want to check one out for yourself, I've got a link down below to purchase it, as well as a discount code where you can save 20%. I've got a little wind at my back here, and you guessed it, I'm going 5-iron because we don't have a lot of options with this small set. Now what I'm gonna try to do here though is hit more of a fade. So I'm gonna open my stance up. I'm gonna aim at this bunker on the left-hand side, and we'll see if we get some workability out of these clubs. Clubs like these that fly so straight are often a little harder to move right or left depending on the shot shape you want. Let's see if we can pull it off. So just a tiny, tiny little bit of bend there, and I'm gonna find myself in the right rough because of that. But kind of what I was thinking happened there. You get a little bit, but the benefit of these clubs is they are straight flyers. So don't pick up a set of clubs like these that are more on the game improvement side, hoping that they're gonna do everything, because there's gotta be a couple of drawbacks, and workability is gonna be one here with these clubs. Now, of course, us mere mortals, I think, should consider playing easier to hit clubs more often. Even though I've gotten down to a pretty low handicap number, 3.5, I've really been pondering going to more of a forgiving iron. Right now I play some players cavity backs that are forgiving. I think they're long, but they're not the most forgiving, they're not the longest. These things are gonna be my clubs in both of these departments. So we've all got to do a little of our own soul searching to really decide, how hard do we want to make golf? It's a hard enough sport. All right, so we have found the rough here. Not a terrible lie, but we're gonna get an idea of how these clubs do in the rough. It's a little thicker here in the summer because we've gotten so much rain. I've got 173 to an elevated pin, and that means we're gonna go 7-iron. Again, I think this shot calls for a little bit more of left to right trajectory, so we'll continue to test this on the hole here. Water on the right short, I do not want to be in, so I'm aiming left of that pin. Okay, we got a little bit of left to right movement, looking like the right-hand side, and we're just off the green there. That strike, by the way, wasn't a great one. And a hallmark of these clubs is gonna be the forgiveness. So even though we missed the green there, we weren't in the water short, probably what I deserved, and probably where I would have been with my normal gamers here, but we got away with one there. So yeah, we're off the green here, but not by much. And again, we are basically pin high. The water's only about 6 yards behind me. If I hit that 6 yards shorter, I'm in it. Fairly easy up and down, except this super long rough. Ooh, almost dunked it. But that came out hotter than I thought. So we got a tough putt coming back here. This one's maybe a little longer than our first putt. I'm not gonna give it as much break. And that one did break. Well, bogey there means we are on the number early. We're heading to a par 3 here, chance for redemption. All right, number here today is 151. That's right in between clubs. As you saw, I just hit a 176 7-iron. That's gonna be too much club, so we're gonna go pitching wedge here, and I'm gonna have to try to hit this one. And let's see how long these clubs are, huh? All right, I think We're looking middle of the green there. We do have another birdie putt. Again, probably better than I deserved because that contact was down there on the club. And that's where a lot of us amateurs miss it. My contact when I miss is either low or generally toe side. Those are the two places. And with Mizuno moving the mass around, that's exactly the two places that these clubs are going to forgive. And I've got a birdie putt because of it. I hit that 148, by the way. Here's my pitch mark. And there you can see we only rolled out less than a foot there. That's about 10 inches. All right, 25 feet here for birdie. Oh, just needed a little more pace. Heading to 4. All right, little dog leg right here. I'm gonna hit the draw though. Try to get max distance. And after I hit this shot, we're gonna talk a little bit about the price of these clubs. Oh yeah. Oh, that's so good. That was really money. All right, let's talk price here. And the JPX are at $150 per club. I think that Mizuno has priced these right because they're a little bit more than things I like in this category, like the Wilson Dynapower, certainly. But it's not as expensive as some of the other premium options you're gonna get from clubs like Ping, for instance. These aren't gonna be as expensive as the Pro series from Mizuno, which are gonna be another $300–400, but around $1,000 a set. I think they offer pretty reasonable value. Oh yeah, there we are, 207. All right, and we've got 134 to the hole. Now, both those shots, 207, both I think were off the middle of the club face. I will say, you can feel pretty much where you hit it with these clubs, but you're not gonna have quite the same conviction as something like in the Mizuno Pro Series where you know, hey, I knew I hit this exactly off the toe or off the heel. Because these are a little stiffer feeling, they're a little bit harder to discern, but I do think it's possible. All right, I've got pitching wedge here. Again, do need to carry some water. Don't need to hit it as hard as I just hit it, obviously. So we're gonna go for like a 90% swing, maybe 85%. And I'm gonna try to get just a little bit of fade on this one. Harder to fade a club like this, lower irons in the bag, but I am able to do it a little bit there. And we hit the back of the green, so I had just a little bit too much gusto. But despite that, I think we're doing pretty well. We're giving ourselves some decent looks. Another kind of tough lie here, it's really sitting down, but we gotta get up and down here. Oh, go. Same distance putt I keep having, so I'm due to make one, I think. This one should just be a little right to left. Oh boy. All right, hey, we are +2 all of a sudden, which means I need a birdie. The good news is we are heading to a par 5, so hopefully we'll have the opportunity to. All right, we've got to get off the tee box well here. And we did. Wow. You wouldn't think, honestly, that this is so strongly lofted when you see the peak height that I'm getting out of this 5-iron. Really, really nice. So after that beautiful, beautiful drive, I'm about 240 out. I don't think I can get there with a 5-iron, so I can do two things. I can just try to advance the ball as far as possible, or I can try to lay up to a distance for that pitching wedge. But again, that's more of like a 130 club, and if we're going to really attack, we've got to attack. I'm gonna go full out here then and go 5-iron. Ideally, this gets us into about 40, 50 yard territory, and I'm usually pretty good from there. Ooh, hit behind that one, but I got away with it. Well, if we do hit our over-under today, it's not gonna be because of my amazing ball striking, but that's why you need a forgiving club like this. And what's nice about the sole design there on the Mizuno is that it gave me the opportunity to glide through a little bit and still make some kind of decent contact. Definitely didn't get my full 207 yards I was hoping for, but at least we advanced the ball and it went straight, and we're gonna have a good look here for our third shot. And you can make one mistake on a par 5, but if you're gonna make a birdie, you've also got to hit one good shot. Let's see if we can do it. 74 yards, 58-degree wedge for me. If it's the right distance, that's going to be really good. I thought it went in. I try to teach this lesson to my sons when we're out here playing golf, is that you can't think about the last shot. I can't think about the bad contact. I just gotta put that out of my mind, think about the next shot. That's what we did, and we've got a kick in birdie here. Yes, sir. All right, so one hole here for Glory. It's gonna be a little par 4 dog leg right. Well, not that little, it's actually got some decent distance to it. But after I hit my tee shot here, I'm gonna rank these clubs and give them a score. Another one I hit low on the club face, still nice peak height. So we were what, 4 out of 5 fairways here today? Very good number. The only one we didn't hit, by the way, was where I was trying something different. I was hitting a fade, and it faded a little more than I expected. And in terms of greens, assuming we make this one, we'll be 4 out of 6 greens. That'll be a pretty good number as well. So if you watch the show, I rank clubs on 5 categories. The first one is distance. This is easily a full 5 out of 5. For me, my normal 5-iron, if you don't watch this show, is tops out about 190. About 185 though is pretty average, and as you saw here today, at least off the tee, I'm averaging over 200 yards here with that. So distance is going to be really nice. Of course, it owes a lot of that to the pressed lofts, but it is what it is. We're still getting the peak heights. That's great. In terms of forgiveness, oh boy, yeah, absolutely another 5 out of 5. These are some of the straightest irons I have ever hit on this show. Mizuno continues to improve this line with every release of the JPX. In terms of workability, of course, this is gonna be one where a game improvement club breaks down a little bit. So it's actually a couple times better than I thought it would be. Like with the pitching wedge, I missed that green on 4. It's because it cut a little more than I expected. So for this type of club, you're not gonna get massive amounts, but it does pretty darn good. 3.5 out of 5 stars here for workability. In terms of aesthetics, looks, feel, sound, this is a number that I would have expected when I pulled these out of the box to give it a 5. But I can't give it a 5. I'm gonna give it a 3.5 out of 5 again here. And I would say looks-wise, I don't like that badging, that white badging on the back of the club is just a little cheap looking to me for some reason. I'm not sure why they went with that. It looked better in the JPX 223 model, where it was just a shiny metal back there instead of that white. But really it comes down to feel here, and feel is just a little lacking. I think you're getting more distance, more forgiveness, but you're giving up a little feel here with these clubs. Again, maybe not the most important thing. The most important thing is shooting low scores, but it's something you got to consider. And value, I'm going to give these 4 out of 5 stars. Like I said, I think they priced it pretty right here at $150. It's a fair price for what you're getting. All right, we've got 169 yards. Let's see if we can hit that last green in regulation. And let's see if we can break our over-under of ±1. I'm gonna go 7-iron here. 169, pin in the back. Just a smooth 7. I don't need to kill it in any way. I got plenty of club, plenty of distance. Oh, it's drawn in. Is it going to hit the green? I think it's just gonna catch a piece. Yes. All right, we've got one more birdie putt to end this one, and I really would love to end strong. I am ending cool. I'm not sweating, and that's crazy. I'm absolutely dumbfounded by how well this thing works. And I do want to remind you here as I'm driving up to please hit that subscribe button. If you've watched this long, hopefully you're a fan of the show. You may not even be subscribed. You think you are. Sometimes that happens to me with channels I love. But hit that subscribe button. It does so much. Or share this channel with someone else. All right, here we go. I'm pin high. I got a birdie putt. Life is good. 9 feet. Right to left here. Oh! Oh, you gotta love golf. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'll catch you back here next time on another edition of Let's Play Through.